The government of Belize has promised to undertake a major role in transforming the agriculture sector so that the industry can become an exemplary in the region. In keeping with that goal, the Food and Agriculture Organization financed a one-day training for 50 soursop farmers from Corozal and Orange Walk. Elmer Cornejo has the following story.
A combination of farmers from Corozal and Arinjawak were delighted to be part of a cohort of 50 that would learn how to get the best out of their soursop farms, as the fruit has become one of the products on high demand in Belize and the world. The group spent the first hours of the morning at the Yo Creek Agriculture Station for the theoretical part of the training, and thereafter convened at the Manolo Hernandez farm in Chenpine Ridge for the practical part of the session. Dr. Abel Reboques, who has a master's and a doctoral degree in agronomy, was brought in from Brazil as the consultant to carry out the training, while the national coordinator for non-traditional fruit trees in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fulton Barry Palacio, spearheaded the project.
We are having a training in Soursop to train farmers, to capacitate them to be able to better produce Soursop. Through the FAO project, FAO means Food and Agriculture Organization, we have brought in Dr. Abel Reboques, who is a world-renowned expert in Soursop, to teach our farmers. So we are going from district to district, teaching Soursop farmers all the new techniques and all the knowledge that he has brought with him for us to develop the industry more. As I have said in previous interviews, the Ministry of Agriculture has prioritized specific fruit trees such as soursop, coconut, pineapples, dragon fruit, and passion fruit. Those are our priority crops. And today we are focusing on soursop so that the support that farmers require is there. So I am happy that Dr. Abel Reboques has taken time out to share his knowledge, and the feedback that we have gotten from all the participants has been extremely positive. So we're happy for that. He has mentioned that one of our biggest constraints is that of the absence of hand pollination, pruning, and pest and disease control. So I'm certain that after this, when farmers go and practice on their own farm, they will see tremendous improvement in their operations.
The idea of the ministry is for farmers such as David Tillett to be able to triple, if not quadruple, on their production of soursop.
There are many things that I didn't know. For example, pruning, when you need to prune, and why it is important to prune. It is important to prune, for instance, because you want to get bigger and better fruits and lots more flowers on the tree. Another thing I'm learning here is about pollination. When do we need to pollinate? Because when we don't pollinate, we have deformed fruits. That's one thing that the doctor is explaining, and that's very interesting for me. I didn't know. He says that whenever we don't pollinate the flowers, you can get about 30 to 40 flowers. When you don't pollinate, then you don't get many fruits. And when you pollinate, you get about 100 or more fruits, even 200. People from Brazil, he's explaining, there are people that can produce in 1 year more than 200 soursops in one tree. And when you don't pollinate, he was explaining that if you have 100 flowers, most likely you will end up having only 4 or 5, even maybe 3 or 2 soursop. So it is important, he explaining, that we know how to pollinate and to pollinate our flowers so that we get the most of it. Something that I was asking a lot of questions to the doctor was about fertilizer, when to fertilize and how to fertilize, and why it. He was explaining something very important, that nitrogen is very, very bad for the plant because it causes disease. Sometimes it induces to anthracnosis, which affects the fruit, affects the flowers, and even sometimes the leaves. So he was explaining that we need to reduce the amount of nitrogen, and it's better to use something that is like 0020 20 or 001010. That's the number of the fertilizers in the bag.
The Ministry of Agriculture plans to create more of these training sessions to vitalize the agriculture industry in Belize. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
The ministry is also engaged in other non-traditional fruit trees training sessions for farmers across the country.